Ready? Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order. It's 5:10. I apologize, we're running a little late. We got the other two commissioners here for a quorum. Go to item number 2, invocation. Can everyone stand? And Commissioner Douglas, would you do us the honor?
Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight with great concern of what's happening across the world and the hatred and the death and the wars and pain people are suffering. We pray that it comes to an end and people can be neighbors again and friends. We pray for those who are hurting and that you may ease their pain, and those who have lost, that you comfort their relatives that are left. And we pray for this commission as we go forward, that we serve our public in the way that you would have it. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I salute the flag of the state of Mexico and the United States.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Aguilar, Commissioner Duggins,
Here.
Vice Chair Secretero,
Here, ma'am.
Commissioner Gonzalez, and Chair Martinez.
President, we have a quorum, so item 7, approval of minutes of October 24th, 2023. Commissioners, have you had a chance to review your packet and review the minutes?
Yes, sir, some of
Commissioner Secretarial makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Duggins. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The minutes are approved for October 24th, 2023. And thank you for doing them for us. Item 8, committee and department reports. Acknowledge department reports. First one is detention center.
Chairman Thomas, you missed item number 6.
The agenda.
Ooh, sorry. Item number 6, approval of agenda. I apologize for that mistake.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Duggins,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Secretarial. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The agenda is approved. And I apologize for that mistake. I didn't see that. Thank you. Let's bring it to my attention. Committee and department reports. Now we can go to detention center.
Good evening, Chair Martinez, Commissioners. Departmental report for the detention center. Meals per day, 198. Average monthly meal served, 6138. Meals cost, 18,291 and 24 cents. Medication dispensed, 287. Individual medication disturbed daily. It should be daily. Transportation, medical transports, dentist transports, district court transports, magistrate court transports, transports out of the county to rehabs, Department of Corrections, or evaluations. Total transport 100, total transport hours 39.25. Programs available for detainees: female Bible study, Mondays, we have male Bible study as well on Wednesdays and Fridays. We still have Rise inside the facility, so individuals are getting the program Tuesday through Friday. pretty much all day, morning and afternoon. We have Alamo services, people are coming in and they're getting to interact with our detainees for medical purposes and being able to distribute medication for those individuals as well. We still have the parenting classes that are offered inside the detention center. We come bi-weekly, we get to meet with all detainees and all pods. On top of that, department issues, nothing too big. We just have, we just lost a couple of officers to Magdalena Marshals. So that's the detention officer, they're over there in Magdalena now. So we're currently 5 officers short. Department accomplishments. I know you guys probably seen, this is, well, let me touch base on this, and this, you guys have this up. This is the beautification committee. So this was brought to myself, and then I passed it on over to Manager Hawks. So what they're wanting to do is, there's a board, and what they want to do is they want to specific use just our RISE individuals because of all the talent that they have, and we want to send these guys throughout town, throughout Socorro County to do murals on walls, and they do fire hydrants, gas stuff. So we got the approval of the county manager to see if that was okay, and something that we'd be okay to do with, and Manager Hawks approved. So they plan on doing this probably in the next coming months, just to show some of their art and what they're capable of doing throughout town and throughout our little city. With that being said, Chelsea from Literacy, they come in on Mondays and Saturdays, and they're doing a GD program for detainees. They're also just doing different kind of things with them. They're showing them how to read, what kind of reading level they're at. So we're getting good feedback on that. Get a lot of participants. People are really excited about it. The only thing is just the GD, it takes a while. So those are usually for our long-term people. But if they start it once they get out, they're more than welcome to stop by the public library and continue their education. So that's pretty cool that was brought to us. I know a lot of talk was for Halloween. We allowed our detainees to color pumpkins. And we did a little bit over 20 pumpkins. Let me get you the numbers for sure. So these pumpkin cells, they were all from our RISE guys. So they colored pumpkins, and they made a total amount of $480. And these pumpkins were sold throughout the community. And all the money raised went to these detainees' books. So each individual, they made good money. I think the lowest bidder was $24, and the highest bidder was 140. So 140 went to one detainee just because of his pumpkin sales that he did. And they were pretty good, actually. They caught a lot of people's eyes, and a lot of creativity. I know Miss Betty started it off. She kind of just started putting $5 on all of them, and after that, they just kind of went on social media. They ran with it. There were some pretty cool ones. There was a total of, I believe, 24, if I'm correct with us. 28. So they really had a great idea. They ran with it. We just kind of encouraged, and the little community supported us. They put in bids. Thereafter, we got with RISE as well. We got some chili donated, and we had our RISE guys make ristas. So they made some pretty cool chili ristas. Those went out for bid with the approval of the manager. And the money also, today's the last day, so all that money will go to the inmate cooks. We'll get the order commissary, hygiene, the stuff that they need. If they have any fines or child support or anything like that, they can pay that as well. So that was super cool. We got a lot of thank you letters throughout. People were just messaging me, emailing me, just to read a couple of them. Hi, thanks for all you do for the inmates. There are a lot of great pumpkins. Mater truck is my favorite. Have a blessed day. Dear Eddie, as a tutor with Socorro Literacy at SCDC, I want to thank you for supporting detention center residents and the RISE program and producing and valuing their own work. Painting pumpkins may seem just like a fun art project, but it's the effect of our community is far more impactful than most people realize. When my colleague and I entered HPOD last Monday, our learners were very eager and proud to show us some of the painted pumpkins they had made. After a brief show and tell, we began instruction and operation. which is part of the participation of the GED. This is not a favorite topic, but everyone participated. Even those who already had a GED diploma or some college all took part. So yeah, we just got a bunch of kudos. I don't want to, there's about a good 7, 8 of them. It sure looks like the pumpkin auction was a huge success. Since I only got 2 of the 3 I had remaining in the auction, I was going to give extra money, which is an extra $40 tomorrow, so each pumpkin artist can get an extra incentive for winning bids that were won. I'm gonna donate going to donate them to the library to be part of their booth at the trunk or treat. So these individuals bought pumpkins and they turned around and raffled them off to the kids. So that was pretty cool. So the Rising was it's showing a lot of, great things, good things within the facility. You got the attendees that are not there yet, but they're seeing what they're getting pulled out to do. So that's intriguing. A lot of guys are wanting to do that. There's an incentive for it. They're getting to get some fresh air. They're getting to do some arts and crafts. So it's a good thing within the detention center. So it's a good program. I know we talked to Judge Murphy about it. So that's maybe something that instead of them getting sent off to a rehab, they can just stay in custody and program and get some certificates and complete the program and go from there.
Anything else, Mr. Garcia?
I think that's going to be everything there on the rise. I know I've talked to Manager Hawks. We've had some incidents within the facility. This fentanyl's it's pretty bad. It's getting out of hand where it takes one individual to come in. I know I attached some pictures to my report with individuals coming in with contraband and they're trying to sneak it in, and my staff are doing a really good job when it comes to, we have an awesome body scanner, but you can't always just depend on that. You got to make sure you're doing, you got to be thorough with everybody, making sure you're doing the cat searches. I throw that on my guys every day. Like that machine we have is good, but we got to do the basics. The basics, you're going to catch it. And my guys have caught a couple of good batches where individuals come in with, pipes loaded with fentanyl. And all it takes is one to get to the back, and somebody who's been incarcerated for, 60, 90 days to get a hold of that, they're gone. My staff is also, we've teamed up so we can get everybody certified with the Narcan. Everyone catches that. Everyone wears that on their duty belt because you never know. Something's going to occur. You got to be ready. So there's been a lot of stuff going on in the last couple of weeks, but my staff is doing a really good job on, just doing what they got to do day in and day out. I know they don't get a lot of credit, but that's the reason why I'm here, just to let them know that they're doing a good job, that you guys know they're doing as much as they can. They wear 4 or 5 different hats. That's part of the job, but it is what it is. The fentanyl, it's getting real bad. These guys are coming in and they can't withdraw from it like the way they did with heroin and meth. They got people that want to just take their lives because they can't do the kick. It's so bad. And I was talking to a FEMA today, and my team, we're assuming any person that walks through those doors are using 50 to 75 fentanyl a day, because we just don't know. They could lie to us and tell us that they're not a drug user, whatever the case is, and we got to do it. And next, they're detoxing, and they end up, something happened to them in the back, and we have no control of them. And we're trying to save our people as much as we can. So we're just trying to hold as many people as we can up front, watch them, observe them, and then hopefully they kick that stuff and we can turn a new leaf. But we're going through a rough time right now. It's really bad. It's really bad.
Any questions, Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, Eddie, how long does it take them? You described it as kick. That's when they're
Detoxing.
How long does that take?
So usually it takes anywhere from 5 to 7 days, but now we've got somebody in custody that's about 14, 15 days, and she's still going through the motions.
What happens? They get sick?
They get real sick.
Like what?
So they're vomiting, they're dehydrated, diarrhea. the shakes, they're eating. They're at the point where they just don't want to live. If they can't have that drug again, one more hit, it's like they can't do it. They'd rather just take their life. Us being a small facility without medical, without having the right personnel that's there, hey, again, these guys signed up for detention officers, not to be medical personnel and try to do as much as we can. So we're just trying our best, like we say, we're doing everything we can. So if there's any symptoms like that, any signs, we transport them, get them back to the ER and see if they can do anything for them, or if they're just on a constant watch.
Is it a big percentage of the people that are coming in?
I'd say if we had 10 bookings in one day, I'd say at least 7 of them. So it's a good percentage.
I don't doubt it. Everybody I've tried to hire is the same, and I don't know, my heart still breaks for all of them.
Something, Commissioner?
Thank you very much, sir. I made a request last meeting in regards to, maybe somehow beefing up our report. I know that in terms of rehabilitation, I know that that's one of the goals and that's one of the mainstream that we're trying to do for these individuals, each of these individuals. And I know that there are great things going on in terms of the VICE program as well. So all I requested was, if we could have that in the, just beefing up the report in regard to the, and showcasing some of the great things that are happening. And there is, and most definitely, being down 5 individuals, I know that takes a toll on you, and also your officers as well too. So, but thank you very much for what you do, and continue doing what you guys do.
Thank you. Sure.
Mr. Chairman, and I do want to thank you for seeing the potential and letting them act on it. And I wanted to say a minute ago, but I believe a lot of people are doing bad things, right? And there needs to be a punishment. But I also believe that there's good in everybody somewhere.
Yes, sir.
And I just believe that.
My question, Mr. Garcia, the last commission meeting, our sheriff was here, and I know he said he's working on some stuff, because you're right, the drug problem is pretty bad. It's all over the county, and not just in our county. I don't know what's gonna happen or how we can control it, because it's too much. In my community, I see it. I see a lot of people that you can tell that what's going on. I see it more and more and more. And I feel sorry for these young people because they're lost. Try to help them, but they don't want to admit it. It's kind of hard. I don't know. It's just sad. I had a question on the meals.
Yes, sir.
Are they pretty good? Because I know when we went to visit the detention center, it looked good. We talked to the lady that cooks it and everything, and I just wondered if everything's going good with that.
Yeah, everything's still going good. I know in the past we had a couple complaints about the portions, but the portions are measured out. They're getting their right intake daily. It's just, I don't know if it's just because of bigger tray, and then it doesn't fill all the spots. So maybe they think that, but the food's always, it comes out good. Everything's taken, there's pictures taken of everything. We house other detainees from other counties, and they always give us a pat on the back saying, hey, you guys put flavor in the food compared to Valencia County. So that's always a good thing. So they know what comes out, when what food's gonna be Monday through Sunday.
If you don't mind, could you send me a copy of that menu for December?
Absolutely.
Email it to me, and now I can kind of look at it.
Sure.
I appreciate that.
Mr. Chairman, it's just one other thing. You mentioned that these people, sometimes they come in with a 70 pill a day habit. Did you say that?
Yeah, some of them, I got guys that were doing, one individual just came in a couple weeks ago, he was doing 100 pills a day.
And what do they cost on the street?
And that's the interesting thing. He told me that there were 20 cents a pill.
20 cents?
Yeah, so 20
They
cents.
used to be $20, right?
No,
They used to be $25, $30
A piece.
a piece, yeah. So now they've downgraded to 20, and this guy was in Albuquerque, so.
So I'm saying this because, I mean, poor as them hooked on them, but the community's being ripped off to support that habit. You know, we're in danger, I bet you, of losing more stores because of the theft. They can't stay in business. I've had it happen to me multiple times on the farm, you know. Usually I get 4 or 5 days out of somebody and then my stuff's gone, you know. But I don't know. We as a commission have wrote the governor twice, Attorney Nance, and one resolution, and we have not heard not a word, right? Not even receipt of the letters. Other commissions across the state have done the same thing. I mean, you know, it was George Washington that said he feared the day that people put their allegiance behind the party instead of the country. And I think we're there. And I'm saying this because the party never did anything for you, nor me either party. Work for your country, vote what's right for the country. That's all we can do. And obviously, when we're burying our kids every day, and the commission, the ones that are closest to the people, can't get a response from the governor, well, there you are. I'm done.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mr. President.
One last thing, I know I wanted to bring this up. Today we had last night we had an individual come in on a female. She came in on some warrants. My guys held her. They said, oh, you know, something looks weird on a scan. So we used that body scan. So we said, hey, we got plenty of room. We're going to hold them back. So she stayed the night booking. So by the time my staff, myself got in today, we pulled up the scan and we looked at it and said, oh no, something's going on. So we pulled her out. We talked to her. Said, hey, your scan's not looking right. Something's not right. Is there anything that you've got that you need to let? Oh no, I don't know what you're talking about. So I came to the point where I said, you know what? I know you're lying to me, but I'm going to hit you with some truth. I'm going to pull you out. I'm going to let you see this picture that I'm seeing. So I brought her in there and she's seen the scan and it's clear edible. You know, you could see it visibly. And she goes, oh no, I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have nothing. I don't do drugs. So then I said, okay, well, you're going to be on watch. You're not going to have anything and I'm going to just monitor you. Because if something happens, if this thing breaks, pops, you're going to overdose. You're going to die. Oh no, I don't know what you're talking about. So I said, okay, so we put her in our dry cell. We're watching her. I got my cameras in my office and we're watching her. And my staff starts getting busy and she starts seeing that people are busy. So she starts messing around with it. So then I'm watching her and come to find out she already removed it and she's messing with it. She's putting away things and she's thinking that nobody's watching or observing her. So then I get on the radio and we go in there and we catch her by surprise and we recover. There's about 10, 11 fentanyl pills. There was some foil. And I thought it was just in a plastic, vial. It wasn't. It was a glass jar. Glass. And this is in her cavities. So again, this is something, if something breaks, if something pops, here we are. We're liable. It's not going to look good. But again, we're doing everything that we can. We're doing the right practice. I know whenever Manager Hawks came on, this was a big thing. Like, hey, if they have stuff like this, we got to get them taken care of, watched over, and then we got to take them to the ER. They got to sign that form, making sure, hey, we're not making them do this. It's for their safety. But she had already removed it secretly underneath the blankets or whatever, but we're able to catch it and we got it. So what I did is I emailed the pictures to Manager Hawks, but I brought some copies just so you could see. And I'll share these with you. But this is just an everyday thing. This is an everyday occurrence at the jail. This is what we're dealing with. This fentanyl is really bad. And when you see this, you're going to be like, there's no way. It looks like, I'm not sure if any of you guys drink alcohol. I know. But it looks like a shot of Fireball. That's what it looks like. Just like a little miniature shot. And it's just like, that's glass. If that thing pops, we're in trouble. We got to figure this out. But they're not scared anymore. It doesn't even shock them, I should say. It's just like, they have like, when you wake up in the morning, you have your daily things. Hey, I wake up, I take a shower, I do this. Their thing is they pack and then they start their day. This is like a normal occurrence. They get their dope ready and they pack and they're ready just in case you get pulled over, you gotta go to jail if you got something. You know, I just don't understand it, but we're in a fight right now, and it's hard out there. But I'll share these pictures with you guys and leave them with you, and just let you guys, observe and see what we see. And I circulate because I know you guys aren't too familiar with the body scan. You want to flip it the other? There you go.
When, Mr. Garcia, when someone gets caught, like that guy or person that came in and he had those fentanyl pills, is that reported to law enforcement?
Absolutely. Once we find it, we have the lookout cams. We get the contraband that's brought in. We do our reports, take pictures, and we send it off to our sheriff's department, and then charges are pressed. So they do get outside street charges for bringing in contraband into a facility, which is a 3rd-degree felony. But if you see how I circle, it looks like it's a glass little bottle, and it was filled.
Well, thank you for continuing to try to stop it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is DWR Rice, verbal.
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners and everybody here. So I'm going to add a little bit to Eddie's, Administrator Garcia's report in a little bit, because we met for a couple of hours today. But from our report at the Socorro County Community Alternatives Program, SCAP, and my name is Athena Gusumas, the director there. Currently, we have 95 people on probation, including DWI, more than 215 on pretrial, and I can say 214 are probably fentanyl charges, okay, possession of fentanyl. We have the remediation of the opioid remediation that has been happening. The assessment for Socorro County and the assessment with the community did happen. It was very successful, and Shauna Hartley, who's in charge of that, they're continuing their county by county assessment and community outreach. And once that's done, they'll get back to us and kind of meet with us all and figure out what the next plan is. But currently, they are still continuing to do their county assessments on that. So I met with Administrator Garcia and Vanessa today at the detention center. One, to go over all the positive things that are happening. But I have to tell you, just from a treatment perspective, and after our meeting, I called PMG Tana Hudson, who runs the Suboxone program through the PMG at the hospital. And I called Wayne Comstock, who's the medical director for the EMTs, to just see what exactly is happening and what are they seeing. And their report is that right now, any medical assisted treatment, Suboxone predominantly, is really not having an effect on individuals. The concoction of what exactly is going into the fentanyl is so much poison, and they can't predict exactly what it is, that even the Suboxone and the methadone is really just barely stabilizing people. So they're really struggling as well. So we're hoping to have a meeting with the county manager and just see if we can brainstorm and how we can have some more medical assistance, before folks go in, while they're in there, and of course upon release. But it is a huge issue. We are working also more closely with the Alamo Reservation and their behavioral health. Vanessa has been very diligent in making sure and connecting with the reservation. They do have a new psychiatric nurse practitioner that started 2 weeks ago. So she will be covering the past psychiatric nurse. So there won't be, so the crossover of medication and the proper assistance will happen without any gap in services. So she's coming down, I think, next week to actually do an in-person review of the detention center and meet folks. And we went up last week and met with them. So Alamo is struggling immensely also. Most of their folks are here in Socorro or in Albuquerque, the ones that are suffering the most. So it's devastating everywhere. The positive things that are happening at the detention center are obviously terrific. You heard from Administrator Garcia all the positive things that are happening are from our office. The DFA report went in, the RISE report went in for their quarterly reports, and they have all been accepted and approved. And this is a real fight. This is a war beyond wars. Nobody I know in the last 30 years has ever dealt with anything like the fentanyl. So it's going to take all of us really and truly working together. So thank you. I stand for questions.
Questions, Commissioner?
Yeah. So as far as having luck getting somebody clean off of fentanyl, how does that come? Well, what is the luck? I mean, percent maybe.
They have, and
I mean, it's small, right?
it is.
I mean, I've known people that quit alcohol and other things, but the few that I've known that are really heavy on fentanyl, like there's not a chance.
They have to.
But even with medical, I mean, the best treatments we have, it's.
Folks are coming back out of treatment and using again and overdosing because
They've been clean and they go back to their 30, 40, whatever a day and.
So it really is. So we.
Don't you think that deep down, most of them hate it,
Yes.
but they just can't get loose of it?
We did have one individual come into our office today and say, I've been using for 11 years. I have no clue how to do this without help. And they stated that they're using enough fentanyl to just not go into detox. So they'll be sent to treatment within the next 24 to 48 hours. But this individual said they're just using like 1 or 2 a day so they don't fall into the excruciating detox. And so we're praying for that individual that they do manage to get through this, because it's one of the first individuals we've heard in a long time say, I don't want to do this. I haven't done it. And they're not coming in high. They're coming in with maintenance, and it's kind of harm reduction. And we kind of need to get people even to that point where it's just harm reduction until they can get to treatment. We're pulling out all the stops as much as we can. And we do have lots of services in Socorro. We just have to get people connected. Hudson will be coming in person to the detention center. And last week, another organization and myself handed out lunch so we could reconnect with individuals and say, there is help, please reach out. Tana will come and do the same next week so we can have more face-to-face so people see the individuals they will be meeting upon release if they choose to, rather than saying, here's a piece of paper, you need a referral. Thank you. I don't know if there are any more.
Well, I just wanted to clarify that we know the governor can't wave a magic wand, but she has, the National Guard in our letters asked to shut that border down. And we also know that's not 100% right. Nothing's ever going to get us there, I don't think. But when you know where the majority, where it's coming through, if it's coming through that door, well, for God's sake, shut the door, right? That's what it's about with our letter to the governor. I mean, magic she doesn't have, but she does have the power to close that border.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Item B, manager's report.
Thank you, Chairman. Commissioners, in your packet, you have the manager's report. I'd like to highlight some of the issues and give some updates of projects coming along. We're almost finishing up different phases in the San Antonio drainage flood control project. We're anticipating to going out to bid on 2 other phases we're hoping to open up bids by mid-December for those other 2 phases. That would only be phase 1. The other projects, we met with BLM on the agreement on Cabrales, Conani, shortcut Fort Craig roads. We need to see what we want to do with those. Hop Canyon staking will be taking place on the 21st or before, finished by the 23rd, and that phase start on the 27th, along with notification to the community using the lighted sign and Maggie board about the construction and how long it might take, and actually what problems the community public might encounter. Had another meeting with Zoom on Zoom with Site Southwest, next steps regarding Escondido Lake. We have another meeting scheduled for Wednesday, tomorrow, to see where we're at. We did finish the fencing, the indigent burial parcel that was allocated by the Village of Magdalena, and we have a sign on order that the mayor came up with the wording, and I think we decided to add like a little lamp laying next to the wording. Let's see, we started the work on San Antonio Park actually today. That's phase 1, and they're leveling. They had the water system on. Of course, we're going to change all that to automatic. Have a pavilion, some picnic tables, a barbecue, and trees and bushes. Met with Middle Rio Grande Conservancy District about getting that, widening the road after they come up with the irrigation efficiency project that the county might be asked to pitch in on, which would allow us to widen the road for the community in Palmadera and Minotaur. We still met with Sierra and Catherine counties for the SWACA meet and greet that we have planned on February 6th in Santa Fe with all the legislatures. So mark your calendars, and if you haven't got with Jennifer and you want to be there, please get with her so she can get your hotel room arranged for the night of the 6th. Met with the District Court Administrator and Chief Justice. We submitted the application for AOC funds. They really liked our application, and we produced a lot of articles about our need, where they were 3rd in priority, and they recommended a due pass before the state Supreme Court. We asked for 1.4 million, hoping that we get it. Of course, everybody else is asking for money too, so we're hoping for whatever we can get. Submitted some other grants. Big stuff is that, that's the birthdays. The big stuff is that I also received a $450,000 grant that myself and the Director of Finance submitted for that DFA that came up with for cost project overruns. And we considered the window project at the courthouse to be a cost overrun because we couldn't complete the energy efficiency project. We just got the word that this morning that they appropriated $450,000. They sent me the agreement. The issue is that this has a sunset clause in June 2024, so it's real close. I just talked to the architects today, and we're trying to move as rapidly as possible. So if there's no objections, I'd like to sign off of that as the representative, and then on the meeting on the 28th to have it ratified and affirmed by the commission, unless there's an objection to do the report on that.
Objection from me.
Okay.
Put the metal to the pedal.
Okay.
Or the pedal to the metal.
The other good news is that Western New Mexico received a $25 million grant for broadband. It's over a 5-year period, and they will be
placing broadband from San Antonio to Santa Clara. And they should be working on that pretty expeditiously.
Good.
So what does that mean? I mean, when can I hook up?
Well, it's a 5-year project, so we're hoping it moves quickly, but
But wasn't there something an antenna gonna be built out by the hospital
yeah,
that was gonna have a
That's
10-mile reach?
that's Western. That
But
was a
this
grant.
is another,
Yeah. So when we first did the analysis, it was the analysis revealed we needed at that time 66 million for Socorro County, and we still would have blank spaces. So, but $25 million is a big chunk compared to what we've seen.
so when will the antenna at the hospital, is that under construction?
Oh, that'll probably take, I wouldn't expect it to be up until probably June or July of next year. The way everything's going on,
And then,
materials and everything.
and then going north, the Midway School's already wired, right?
All the way, yep. We're supposed to wire all the way to San Antonio to the school in San Antonio.
So at those points, will there be another antenna or what will there be?
I don't know how they're going to decide on middle and end mile connections. That's all within what on their proposal that they submit to the granting agencies. That's contained within there. We are reaching out to another, to Resound, who's in the county also, to see if they're trying to jump in to do some of that work as well, made in mile connections. So it's coming. I know it's not fast enough, but that's huge. That's a huge win for us to get that type of money in this county. So where I was ecstatic today.
Well, thank you for your work on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it is huge.
Thank you, appreciate it. Any further questions from the manager?
I have a question. In regards to the concrete culvert, Elmo, do we reach out to Navajo Nation again?
Yeah, I'm constantly reaching out to Dennis Engineering, who actually hired a subcontractor to do just that. And I just sent an update. I think I sent it to Virgil, because I think he was inquiring. I think I copied you. I couldn't. My own shirt. Okay. And all we're waiting for is the donation. Yeah, that thing is, yeah, because I even included their design condition, and the design is 95% complete. It's never 100% complete because they're always under construction, so they call it 95% complete, but it's really ready to go.
The contact person so that I can give it to Mr. McKay.
Sure.
So that he can help me put that in as well too.
That would be nice. Anything, I had even talked to Gary and said, if we don't get an answer by after Thanksgiving, that I'll expect him and I to do like I used to do when I was out on the res.
Yeah.
Sit in front of, DOJ has a lot of stuff, everything goes through DOJ, sit outside of DOJ, and Navajo DOJ, and or economic development, all those offices for 2 or 3 days and just not leave. And try to
I'm
get,
gonna have a conference call with him Monday.
okay, so I'll get that to you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
But that way that he can help us on that end too,
That would be nice.
right?
I just have a question, Mike, on when you met with the BLM on County Road 12, over there by, where's that? And the BLM, well, I saw what they sent. What is the status now? What's gonna happen, or how are we gonna fix that?
So in reality, the county is in sort of a pickle or a conundrum, however you want to call it. Especially, and I've been talking to the county attorney, especially on the low water crossing. I think we can work with BLM, but that's still an arduous task and very time consuming and drawn out. The one that's even more difficult is where we're getting erosion. So we're trying I think the county attorney and I are probably gonna make a trip out there so he can do eyes on. I don't know if he has yet or not, but we talked about it. Do eyes on, and then we have to follow BLN's golden book. It's called the Golden Book. And even the representative from BLM said she doesn't envy any entity trying to utilize that because it is so drawn out and so taxing. But there's might be some other ways of addressing that. But again, I need to get with the attorney and make sure, because all that is government property. So we can't put any of our property on their property. I guess that's the best way to put it. And we can't make, the Army Corps of Engineers runs the arroyo, and they would be the only ones who can redirect the arroyo. So sort of in a fix on that one, but we're still trying to see how we can address it.
The other one, the Forest Service, I know that Art was supposed to turn in the roads for next time, the contract. Do you know if that happened?
We sent off the invoice to get paid for this year because our contract ends, I think they extended it to November, I think 15th. And then I think Tina said after that we would try to get together and select the roads along with Art. And I think all three of us were gonna be there. So I'm just waiting for that. Okay.
Forest Road 123, we finished that one?
That's my understanding.
No upgrade on it, nothing's changed. Okay, that's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is acknowledge November birthdays. Who wants to take that on?
I'll do it. Okay, we're going to go down the list of members' birthday. First and foremost, James Nance, Sheriff Department, November 3rd. Commissioner Duggins, November 10th. Gilbert Peralta, Probate Judge, November 14th. Peter Warner, Sheriff Department, November 16th. Esmeralda Armijo, Clerk's Office, November 20th. Deborah William Baker, Sheriff's Office, November 21st. Ken Wolf, Emergency Management, November 28th. Happiest of birthday to each and every one of them for November.
Thank you, Commissioner Secretary. Happy birthday to them. Acknowledge Commissioner's report. Commissioner Duggins.
Not really. The only thing, I'll give you another report from the Conservancy. They don't even expect to have the El Vado Dam by 27. It's probably going to be looking further delayed. So that means we'll have run of the river, and that's all it'll be for several years to come. It'll be pretty rough.
For the farmers. Commissioner Secretary.
I really don't have anything to at this point, but I will most definitely say, it's that time of the season where all of our student athletes participate in state tournaments. I just wanted to wish everybody that did cross country that made it to state, and then also volleyball in terms of, I know that the state tournament is just coming weekend, so I also wish them well as well. And I know we're getting ready to, and I'm pretty sure everybody's practicing basketball at this point, so I just wanted to wish everybody well, and most definitely football, all the football teams that participated as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
We have a meeting before Thanksgiving. After. So I just want to say that, we face challenges, big challenges, but we also have a lot to be grateful for. And Thanksgiving is on its way. So it happens to be my favorite holiday, time to give thank for what we have and work for what we wish. And just happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
And if you notice, we have a new flagpole.
I saw that and I like that. And it's beautiful. Thank you. Manager Hawks made that happen. Thank you. I meant to say that too.
Thank you. Okay, item 9, public comment. During this portion of our meeting, we will welcome your suggestions and want to hear your concerns. This is not a question and answer period. Speakers will be limited to 5 minutes. The county commission is not able to take action on matters discussed during public comment. Speakers are requested to state their names for the record. Any public
Yes, we
comment?
do. We had Mr. Sandoval.
Sandoval.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
Good evening.
Happy birthday, Commissioner. My name is Al Sandoval. I'm here for a couple of reasons. One is that you're going to become the election canvassing committee here, and you'll see that on that election that the Betas Sabinan Special Zoning District and was part of that election, and we now have 5 elected commissioners to the Betas Sabinan Special Zoning Commission, which I am one of them. Well, my purpose here today is to tell you who those 5 are, okay? Besides myself, it is Tony Black from Black Smugglers Winery there in Northern Socorro, and Andrew Salas, Joseph Leba, and Joe Tibbetts. So those are the 5 elected officials, okay? Commissioners, we're elected to 2-year terms. Also, we have a scheduled meeting, or I guess a swearing in ceremony with Judge Felix Saavedra for Friday. Okay, and I guess that's gonna be okay, right? I hope.
As long as canvassing goes good, yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna stay for the canvassing. We obviously ran unopposed, so I'm sure it's gonna go good. I'd like to thank Adrian. He's been very helpful in getting this whole process for us to get together and move forward. There is one question I do have, or actually it's a request, and that is, as a newly elected commission, the Abeta Sabinan Commission, Zoning Commission would like to meet with this commission as soon as possible, possibly at the next meeting, okay, to see how we can work together to better Socorro County, okay? There are a few things that we bring up, in the past, the commission, zoning commission, the zoning district was able to use county facilities to hold their open meetings. I'm gonna request that again. Also, we have a website, and we'd like to exchange links, if you will, okay? And then there's a couple other things that, just to give you an idea of what we would like to discuss, is for those people who live in that district, I guess it would be nice if would show up on their county assessment papers, okay, that they're in that district, so that they know. We're gonna post signs, of course. We'll have signage that'll show where the district is up and running. And we have a website, we have a phone number, we have an address. So that's kind of things that we'd like to discuss next at your next meeting. And with that, I'd like to ask if one of you would sponsor us to be on the agenda with the next. All 5 of us can't be here because that would violate the Open Meetings Act. So a couple of us will be, that way we won't have a full quorum. So.
Commissioner Secretary, that's your area. Sponsor.
Let me, Let me touch base with him.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask Attorney Nance, is that if the 5 come in, are they not coming in as a meeting? Can the 5 come in, or is it true that?
Yes, Mr. Sandoval and I have discussed this. If 5 of them come in without a published meeting, it would violate the Open Meetings Act, so only 2 of them could come in. Theoretically, they could hold their own meeting at the same time as this meeting at the same place, and the commissions could discuss it. That gets pretty cumbersome, but it is possible. Sometimes different boards meet together in that fashion.
Well, the 2, I suppose, could bring the wishes of the 5. No?
Yes, sir, that's exactly what we want to do.
Our next meeting,
I think Mr. Hawks.
I was just gonna say, your 5 minutes is up.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Sandoval. Thanks, Al.
Bet.
go ahead.
So, did you? Are you, did you want to sponsor that?
He said he wants to discuss it.
Or do you want to discuss it with the attorney first and then get back to him? Have me.
Yes, I just wanted to touch base with Attorney Nance before. Most of that I don't have a problem. I just wanted to touch base with Attorney Nance in terms of just simple logistics.
Okay.
So if you could, sir, just give me a few minutes, okay?
Anybody else in public comment? Nope. Okay.
No.
Item 10, election canvas. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Chairman, if you would, please, you vote to convene as the canvassing board. Just as a
Okay.
formality.
I'd like a motion to convene as a county canvassing board. Need a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Duggins,
My second.
second by Commissioner Sotero. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. We are now convening as a county canvassing board.
Chairman Martinez, Commissioners.
There you go.
So Chair Martinez and Commissioners, if you look in your folders, we do have the reports available for your review. So on the first one, if you look at your election summary report, which is the very first one, so that report is the report that comes from our cards that are in our tabulators. The cells are broken by so our presiding judges at the end of the evening, when selection is done at 7 o'clock, they do all of their reports. And then they cut the seals, they bring those cards into the county clerk's office. Those cards are run into what is called our RTR. That's a computer issued by the Secretary of State. And it's utilized only for election.
Probably a battery.
So you can see on that all of the precincts have been reported on this election. So we do have So we do have available the tapes from the tabulators for every precinct that all our presiding judges come in to verify the counts of the constituents or the people who were on the ballots at that time. If you go on to your second report, we do have a tabulator report for the local elections. This report has all of the races for Socorro County, so they are on there. If you look at the numbers, they are on there. They will match to the tapes that we have available. Then if you go into our canvas of returns of local election, these reports are pulled off of Secretary of State's service program that we utilize in the county clerk's office. These are the reports, again, that will match all the other two reports that I did talk about. They are done by each precinct, and then all of the numbers are there. If you're wanting to go over the tapes to the reports, you're welcome to do so. I can say that election day was a very busy day at the clerk's office. We were actually short down one employee. So we did run election day with 3 employees. So it went very well. Do you have any questions for me?
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
Madam Clerk. It went very well. You're satisfied, you're ready to certify these? Or I guess what I'm asking is you're comfortable with all these numbers? Is there any recounts going on or?
There are no recounts going on. Of course, the election summary report is on an official numbers of everything that was on the ballots. So I am very satisfied with the elections, with the reports that I gave to each and every one of you.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I don't know, I'm comfortable certifying Clerk Saavedra's report in its entirety.
Motion to certify.
That would be my motion.
Do I need to reconvene to do that?
No, sir, you would do that as the board,
Okay.
the canvassing board.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Duggins to approve the election results
As presented.
as presented by our clerk. I'll second it. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? They are approved.
Thank you, Chair Martinez.
Forms here.
So in your folder, Chair Martinez, you do have the canvassing report that needs to be signed, and there are 3 of them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We all signed the same.
Yeah. Let me pass it to you. And today's the 14th.
It keeps me a little easier to deal with. I see that pretty.
That's all you need then?
Yes.
And we keep the packet that you gave us? Need a motion to convene the Board of County Commissioners?
I'll make a motion, sir.
Motion by Commissioner Secretary. I'll second it. Glenn. Commissioner Dugan, we need you to vote.
I vote to go back into the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We reconvene as the county commissioners. Mike,
Yes, sir. Can I say something?
yeah,
Okay, earlier in regards to the request for the Vegas Seminole zoning, I would like to make I'd like to sponsor two individuals to come down to have the discussion with us next board meeting.
Okay.
That would be
me,
this next November 28th, 5 p.m. Okay. Thanks, Mike.
thank you. Betty and Mike, I got a call from an individual today, and he's gonna get on the agenda. I don't know if it's the next meeting or December. He's getting a group of people. They are very opposed of the way the elections. They don't like, I don't know what he's gonna bring, but I told him that to get with you and get on the agenda and whatever. He says that there's,
Is that,
I don't know if he called you.
no,
Please call for the
is he gonna do public comment?
No, he wants to get on the agenda and do a presentation of him and some other people. I said, well,
Is there a commissioner that wants to sponsor that?
What's it about? He said, doesn't like the way we handle the elections?
no, not the way we're handling. He said there's too room for crookedness. You know, we've had those complaints before. So,
Victor, is there room for crookedness?
In my honest opinion, no, there's not.
I guess,
First,
Mr. Chairman, certainly it's within every member of this board's, ability to sponsor, any individual. My only thought on this is it's not something that this board has any authority over, so I'm not sure it's the correct forum. I mean, certainly he's welcome to speak about anything in public comment, but should it take up, it's up to you all whether you want the board to discuss it, as you can't, you don't have
we don't have.
We don't have authority.
that to say, so that's really up to you all, but you don't have any authority over it.
Well, if he calls me again, which he said he's getting those people together, I'll just tell him to go through Mike.
They can public comment and
Okay, I just wanted to let you know that that's coming down. Thank you. And thank you for the hard work that you and all the people that worked. I know it's hard to get people to work, run the polls. A lot of people don't want to sit there for hours.
We actually had a really good turnout with all the poll officials, and we did meet state statutes on the requirements for every single precinct that we have. We have a total of 8 of them.
Good. Okay, item 11. A, review of Arizona and New Mexico counties for stable economic growth, letter and direction to staff regarding comments on the proposed advanced car and truck rates.
Mr. Chairman, if I might, last year, the Environmental Improvement Board of New Mexico or proposed regulations that would basically implement zero emission vehicle standards in New Mexico and limit the sale of vehicles that are not in those standards. It's up to this board, but the Arizona New Mexico Commission or Coalition recommends they've sent in a letter opposing it, and they would like you to review it and decide if you would like to send in a supplemental letter, which would basically, be very similar to their letter. I think some of their concerns are, for a county, for instance, I thought it was a good concern, would be that you're imposing a regulation on a county, you're not, that is going to increase the costs to the county as far as spending money on vehicles, and yet we're not being compensated for that cost, which is in violation of the New Mexico Constitution. And then it's also going to, I guess one of the issues that I see with it is if California changes their rules, they're big enough to make the car manufacturers listen. If New Mexico changes their rules, car manufacturers don't really care. So it's up to you whether you'd like to give direction to staff to put such a letter.
I would like to see such a letter. I'll make a motion to do that. I don't know. My motion is to,
And would you like the manager or yourself to sign it?
manager can sign it. Can we hear a second?
Was that a motion?
Yes.
Yes. Well,
Motion second by Commissioner Secretarial. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, then we'll direct the manager and our attorney to take the letter and sign it and send it out. Item D, consideration of support letter for New Mexico DOT regarding Nogales Canyon I-25 Bridge replacement project.
Chairman Martinez, Commissioners, in your packet is a support letter. Support letter for the Nogales Canyon Bridges replacement. I recommend a positive response and submission of the support letter.
You heard the recommendation. That's $100 million estimate project, so that would help us too and make it a lot safer.
I would make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Secretarial, second by Commissioner Duggins. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Support letter for the meeting is approved. Item C, direction to staff to publish a title and general summary of an ordinance codifying the New Mexico Enabling Act.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, this proposal is for an ordinance that codify the New Mexico Enabling Act. Basically, what the Enabling Act is the compact between the United States of America and New Mexico, the territory of New Mexico, to become a state. What the ordinance does in effect is to say that any law or regulation or executive order that's passed in the state of New Mexico that violates the New Mexico Constitution, violates our compact with the United States, and that it won't be enforced in the county of Socorro either by funding or by law enforcement. It's really a statement of policy in the county. Ultimately, if you would like it to be published, we would publish it for sometime in December at that time, pursuant to 437.1 and 437.7. It'll be published in the newspaper for one time, or at least 2 weeks prior to the date of the hearing. At that time, the public can come in and comment on the ordinance, and you all can decide whether or not you would like to adopt the ordinance, modify the ordinance, adopt it, or not adopt it at all.
So all you need is direction to staff to do the ordinance.
We would need a direction to staff to publish the title and general summary of the ordinance, if you would like to do so.
You heard the attorney?
I did, but I don't really understand it.
It's really, to boil it down as simple as, it says if there's a law that comes out and it's unconstitutional, violates the Constitution of the United States, that it will not be enforced in this county.
Yes, makes sense.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Duggins to direct staff to publish the title and general summary of ordinance codifying the Mexico Enabling Act. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, you have direction. Consideration of resolution 2023-54 revised appointment of county board of registration.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, every 2 years, this board appoints the Board of Registration, which is actually a very important board that the clerk oversees, that goes through the voter rolls and determines, who shouldn't be on there, maybe because they moved or perhaps they died or for other reasons. So I let the clerk speak to that. She certainly knows more about it than I do. The reason you all have previously had adopted it, but I just want to make sure you have this in front of you really quick. Just really quick. So here's where the issue lies. You have already adopted the Board of Registration in June of this year and appointed the members to it. And you appointed 3 members and 2 alternates. And I don't remember what the political parties were, but it was something like 2 Republicans and 1 Democrat is on the board and 2 Democrats as alternates, whatever it might be. The New Mexico Constitution, specifically Article 7, Section 1, discusses the Board of Registration and says that you can only have 2 people from 1 political party. Not a problem. When you adopted it, it was 100% correct because you had 2 Republicans and 1 Democrat, no problem. Or maybe it was 2 Democrats and 1 Republican. And that was the law that was passed in '96, and then it was revised in 2019 and said that we can have a 3-member Board of Registration because we're a Class B county, which we are, a Class B county. Drives me and the clerk nuts, but they're always going in and tinkering with these laws and messing them up. And in 2003, they passed a new law, which went into effect after you appointed the registration, that said we have to have a 5-member Board of Registration. And so at that point, we now have 3 Republicans and 2 Democrats or something to that effect. We cannot have 2 members of the same political party. So really what the new law did, it's hard enough to get people to volunteer for boards, as we know about our Economic Development Board or our Lodgers Tax Board. I mean, people have to really step up, and it's not easy in a small county to get enough people to do that. And so what's frustrating about this is, we have people that are willing to step up, but we're now in a situation where we have to have the same number of individuals as the city of Albuquerque. So we now have to revise the Board of Registration. And you can have 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats, but you have to have something else, a number 3. It can be it can be a decline to state, it can be an independent, it can be a Green Party, it can be a Communist Party, that doesn't matter. It just cannot be 2 of the same party. So before you are names that the county clerk has suggested to serve on the board who have previously served. I think what we're missing, if I'm not mistaken, Madam Clerk, is the other.
The 5th.
So the 5th person, we did reach out to Jan Gribble, and she has accepted to volunteer on the Board of Registration, and she is a decline to state. So now we do meet the requirement of having 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, and another member that is out of a different party. So if we could write in Jan Gribble's name under the other and have you sign it, then we can adopt the new resolution that has been revised.
How do you spell that?
Gribble, Jan.
Gribble. Jan. And decline to state. The other members that are suggested are Valentina Nina, Democrat, Kay Griebel, Democrat, Don Tripp, Republican, Sandra Hammock, Republican. That would mean the one alternate who would not be on would be Pauline Jaramillo, who was an alternate.
Okay. So we have the 5th person, commissioners. You heard the recommendation of the clerk and our attorney. Need a motion to revise the appointed county board of registration to reflect the new person.
So moved.
Quick question. So I know the 5th one, you reached out and she said she would, what about these 4 individuals? Did we reach out to them?
They have been appointed on our
Okay.
resolution before.
I will see.
I'll make the motion that we adopt.
Motion by Commissioner Duggins to adopt, second by Commissioner Secretarial. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? You have the revised appointment of the county board registration with a new addition. Item E, consideration of property donation, Alex, I can't pronounce that, how do you pronounce that?
Dubrowski.
Dabrowski?
Yeah, Dubrowski.
What's that about, manager?
Mr. Chair, members of the commission, this is a standard property donation under our process. I believe it's been cleared by the treasurer and the clerk and the assessor and the manager. If you would like to accept the property, you're welcome to do so, and we will request a warranty deed from the property.
So I make the motion that we accept.
Motion by Commissioner Duggins to accept,
Second.
second by Commissioner Secretarial. Any further discussion? Hearing none. We accept the property donation from Alex Dombrowski. Item F, acknowledge personnel changes. Who wants to read those? Commissioner Secretarial?
I don't have them in front of me.
Okay, so can you hear me? Okay, first of all, Nathan Vega, Road Department, promotion to Operator 1. Eric Silva, Road Department, promotion to Operator 1. Timothy Hochsteller, Road Department, termination. And then the last one, Marty Sells, Road Department, new hire projects foreman.
Need a motion to acknowledge the personnel changes?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Duggins,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Secretarial. Any further discussion? Hearing none, the personnel changes are approved, acknowledged. Okay, item 12, approval of vendors checks, A, and B, approval of payroll checks.
So I will make the motion to approve A and B together. A, approve vendor checks for the amount of $663,361.56. And then B, approval of payroll checks for the date of November 14th, an amount of $250,182.10.
Motion by Secretarial to approve both. Need a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Duggins. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? They are approved. We don't have executive session. Our next meeting is November 28th, 5 p.m. Need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Duggins,
Is this
second by
sign?
Commissioner Secretarial. We are adjourned at 6:32. Thank you so much.
So
Thanksgiving is on its way, no?
You cooking a turkey?
we had
I
our
don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Good.
veterans, my son-in-law's a veteran,
Oh,
my daughter's a veteran, so.
oh, good.
You're down to the veteran, that's right. Ray volunteered me for the veterans park.
Oh,
You should have one, but I don't.
my bag, I'm gonna bring my bag today.
Everybody's gonna, I always have one in my shirt.
Ladies, thank you very much. You guys have a wonderful week.
We will.
Sleep well.
Star loves you. She wanted to play.
We shared.
If she hears a crumble, she thinks it's hers. Like to crumble a water bottle, she, in a big crowd, she'll come get it. Yeah? She thinks it's her toy, the crumble. And then catch me if you can, you know?
Already did, already did.
I have my phone. How's that? Did?
Yeah,
Aren't that four?
no, you're,
I'm four now? I think so.
well,
District four?
who's Mike? I don't know if they went to read this. Joe Gonzalez. Oh,
Thank you, Commissioners. Have a good evening.
District one.
Let's see.
So,
Oh, I signed on two.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, does it, boss?